HireItDone.com. When there's work to be done around or in your home, when there's money to be spent, you don't want to go wrong. What you don't know can hurt you. We're people you can trust. Oh, get advice from us. What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. This is Adam Helfman with the lovely Ice Queen, Julie Bertuzzi. And the show's called Hire It Done. We're live. Halloween edition. Yeah, nice.
Oops, sorry.
Anyways, we're dressed up in studio. Go on Facebook. Check out Hire It Done. And you get to see our costumes. Michigan State's today. Text us 97136.
Go blue.
If it's state or U of M, I'm a state guy. Got to be go green, right? If you're on your way up and tuning in, let us know. We'll give you a shout out on the road. I have one bathroom. How much will it cost to replace the hot water pipes and a 40-gallon hot water tank? $950 is a hot water tank replacement. If you have galvanized pipes, it's another couple $100 from the plumbers. Just go to HireItDone.com. We'll rock it out for you today. That's how we roll. So joining me in studio right now is a longtime family friend, but triple sharp expert in the what we call it, the tax business?
Tax resolution.
Tax resolution.
You got problems, we try and fix them.
Lawrence Levy.
Had I known there was a costume,
right?
It busted some. I didn't get that from. I didn't get that from the
You know what?
producer.
Adam, I think that's your fault, though.
Is it my fault?
Yeah, you should have given him a memo.
else. Blame Adam, right?
All right, it's all right. It's all good. You know.
It's always good. So,
Roll it
Lawrence,
on.
welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us
You
on.
haven't
again.
met Julie yet, have you?
No, but boy,
Say hi to Julie, right?
look at Adam, you only get the. You know, there's a sign that said "Only good-looking people allowed."
Right. How did I make it? Right?
Okay.
If they want to see, go to Facebook Live.
Absolutely.
Click on Hire It Done.
We'll
and we're
take
all
a
set,
selfie.
man.
I'm taking a selfie with your assistant.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Great. My assistant. Yes.
No.
Lawrence, high
Co-host.
fives.
Co-host. Can you
Yeah,
take that
let
back?
me rephrase that
Yeah.
back. Sorry, time out.
I am not his
Reverse.
assistant, everyone.
Co-host.
Thank you.
I need a co-host. I have a show in Florida. Can you fly down and do my show? as a
Absolutely.
co-host? That'd be great.
Okay.
All right.
So, Lawrence,
Good.
I'm not your
welcome back.
assistant, though.
Thank you. No, co-host.
Julie, would you like to get us some coffee?
No. You know what I'd like to say on air right now?
Eat a donut?
You probably can.
Can't.
Right. We got some.
Can't, folks.
We got some FCC
Speaking of
guidelines about
donuts.
here too.
I know.
Speaking
you have a
of
whole
donuts,
box.
I know. I'm getting that way. It's a little out of the reach with this costume. So, Lawrence, welcome back to the show.
Thanks again.
Last time was a huge hit. We had contractors calling up afterwards. What's the name of that guy? Obviously, it was really informational. So, just a real quick recap. Tell the audience about Levy and Associates.
If you have IRS tax problems, which a lot of your listeners hopefully don't, but if they do, that's what we do. We deal with IRS and state civil tax controversy. If you have IRS issues you haven't filed in a while, you owe back taxes. If you're a business owner and you have payroll taxes, you could be a retail shop. You may sell flooring and you owe sales tax. That's what we do. We dig you out of the hole. We get a solution. And for the next 50 years, we keep you clean. And on today's show, I brought a couple of examples like we did last time, then we can talk about it, and we may even be lucky and have a caller call in. And I think we're actually getting a thumbs up sign.
We did, yeah.
So if you want, we can kick her off like that. And this is a really great one because he's a good guy and it was a good example, but you're in charge.
So let me ask you this really quick before we get to the caller, because it's an actual case study.
That's right.
So that's good because we want to hear that. But a lot of contractors listening to the show.
Right.
And a lot of homeowners, obviously. So if I'm a homeowner, let's just do a theoretical. I'm a homeowner. I hired a contractor to do kitchen, basement remodel, and a bath, let's say. Okay. And I'm writing him those checks.
That's right.
But he has a big IRS lien. He owns back taxes. And he hasn't paid his taxes. And he's, shooking and jiving to make things.
How about a
neat.
little juggle?
Yeah, or
There you
juggle,
go.
right? What risk as a homeowner, like if I put money in his bank account to pay for the job and then the IRS comes in and is that possible?
Yeah, that sound that you just made, the technical term for that is my last name, is a levy. right?
Okay.
A bank levy. And that's what you don't want, that sound, right? You don't
Okay, but
want
as a
the-
It's a
homeowner, how do I know
sucking
that?
You don't.
Right.
The
So
only
how do I
way-
protect myself?
The only way that you may know that is either A, if you ask, right, which I think it may be wise, hey, do you have any tax problems?
So you would
I'm
say that to your
concerned.
contractor?
Because I'm in the business, I probably would, right?
Do you
Or I would
recommend
be very
homeowners do that?
leery. I think it's certainly a wise question to ask, much like if you go to your accountant, right, you may want to say, hey, do you have any IRS problems? Why would you want to go to a CPA who's got tax problems? So it's not something that you would think about, but I think it's a great point. And if it was me, I would absolutely ask, because you don't want to, as Adam suggested, write a check for whether it's cabinets, whether it's roofing or siding, no matter what it would be. You write a check for $1,000 or $10,000, God forbid. Next thing you know, that contractor has their bank account levied by the IRS or the state of Michigan, and then what?
And then
And I'll tell you something, it's happened over the years.
So
I've
it
been in
does happen.
business. Absolutely, it's happened. And it's a mad scramble, obviously, on behalf of the contractor to try and figure out what the hell they're going to do. And oftentimes it is. But the point of coming on the show is to help out not only the homeowners who are perhaps listening to the show to be proactive and to protect themselves, but also to let the contractors know, hey, guys, hey, ladies out there, no matter what, we have a lot of female-owned businesses that are contractors, so it's not gender-specific, but absolutely, let's fix the problem and let's be proactive about it, because a lot of people have a tendency to bury their head in the sand, and being proactive in the tax resolution world is really a critical component.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So this is a component for business owners, contractors. Contractors have payroll. They have to pay payroll taxes.
Right.
There's all kinds of taxes that they do, and they just,
Yeah.
they get around to it when they do, and that's
Right.
not good.
Well, not only do they get around it when they do, but I think oftentimes what happens is people, they get into a rut. They get into just a fear factor. In fact, we had a guy in the office, not really a contractor, yesterday afternoon, literally late in the day at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but we'll call it in the home mortgage industry. So it's got some synergy there. And the guy didn't file taxes in about 6 or 7 years. And really nice guy. And he walks into the office and he says, here's a levy, like my last name. And he said, oh my God, if this got to anyone I do business with, it would be the kiss of death. And we don't want that. So that's what we're going to talk about in the next few minutes here on the Hire It Done show with Adam and his beautiful co-host. Let me make sure I got that right.
Julie Bertuzzi.
Julie Bertuzzi, JB,
Right.
in the house.
She's a great assistant, by the way.
Okay,
So we're
great.
talking with Lawrence Levy from Levy & Associates, LevyTaxHelp.com. We're going to take a quick break. We have a few seconds, right? Yeah, we got a few seconds. So, Lawrence, before we do, we got your caller online. We're going to take him after the break.
Right.
And let's set this
Stand
up.
by,
So, what do we
So
have?
here's what we have. We have a contractor, so I thought it was newsworthy.
Sure.
And the contractor, and he'll explain, because I want him to explain so everyone can hear it, all your listeners, in his words. But the quick setup is he had some good times, made some good money, and then whether it was economy related, and he'll explain why, he ended up getting into a pretty sizable debt with the IRS. And we were able to successfully navigate, and I actually brought the acceptance letter from the IRS, literally sitting right here on the desk in front of us, and he owed close to, or maybe $1 million. So this is one of those
Wow.
classic pennies on the dollar. And he settled for $1,300 on $1 million.
Well, I need that.
Clear. What's that?
I said I need that.
Well, a lot of people do
I don't
need
want to pay
that.
my taxes. I just want to settle for nothing.
It doesn't always work like that.
It's the
let's
same
be
Donald
clear.
Trump.
Levy
It doesn't-
tax help,
doesn't
right?
always work like that.
All right,
And by
let's
the
take a
way-
quick break and we'll bring him on and let's go through the
Absolutely. That
scenario.
sounds great.
All right, folks. Adam Helfman, Julie Bertuzzi, assistant, the Ice Queen, and Lawrence Levy, Levy Tax Help. We'll be right back, folks.
No can hurt you, HireItDone.com. No can hurt you, HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. I'm Adam Helfman with the lovely Ice Queen, Julie Bertuzzi, and our guest, Lawrence Levy from Levy Tax Help. Thanks, Lawrence.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here. Love it.
So, question for you. We have a caller on. His name is Rick. Let's get him on live right now. Oh, wait, did Rick hang up? Oh, Rick hung up. Maybe Rick will call back. So we'll get it. No big deal. We got lots of time.
All right, that's okay.
So, Lawrence, let's talk about Levy Tax Help. You're on the Better Business Bureau,
Yes,
and you're a member,
I am.
and you're also on the board, right?
I am.
How does that work?
Well, I think the Better Business Bureau is always a great tool to use, and actually we should probably give a shout out to a mutual friend, Jeff from Everdry Basements.
Hire It Done contractor, by the way.
Hire It Done,
Jeff Schleining.
Right? Mutual friend, didn't even know actually that connection. But when you are out there, we always think that it's a good thing to check into a contractor, and that's part of what you guys do here is you vet, right?
Yeah.
And that's a really good thing to do is vetting, in our opinion. You want to, when I'm out there and I have a roofer at my office I need a plumber, I need something, I'd like to make sure that is back on. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Well,
All
good.
right.
So here, let's get Rick on the line right now.
There you
Oop,
go.
Wrong guy. Rick, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, buddy. Thanks for calling in. So, Rick, real quickly, we've got you, we got Lawrence, we got Julie.
Not
Tell
the
everyone-
assistant, Rick, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Julie's the
Not
co-host.
the assistant.
So-
I heard that.
Thanks,
Okay.
Rick.
So, Rick, you're a contractor,
Yes.
and you ran into some problems with the IRS. You ended up going to Lawrence Levy at Levy Tax Help. Tell us in a quick scenario how did this work?
The situation with Lawrence or the situation with the IRS?
No, situation with the IRS, and then how we came in and saved the day. How you doing, Rick?
Hey, I'm doing good, Lawrence. It started out when I was young, starting a business, and taxes kept rolling in. I was like, God, I can't pay these and keep going, and blah, blah, blah. I thought, well, if I don't pay for a couple of years, I'll just catch up later. And you know how that goes. It's just a snowball effect. And catching up later was having everything levied and finding Lawrence.
And let's be clear,
Lawrence.
by the way, Rick, you ended up having, and your debt, at least what I'm looking at, went back to 2001. And if I'm not mistaken, it was literally hundreds of thousands. I think with interest and penalties, it may have been close to $1 million. Is that about right?
No,
Wow.
that's correct, yes.
Yeah.
So let me ask real quick while we're done. So, Rick, you were getting the notifications from the IRS. The mail was coming in. You're looking at them. You're just putting it aside. You got that. Tell me, did you get that anxiety, that butterflies in your stomach? You're like, oh, man, I'll get to it. I'll put money aside and I'll pay it eventually. And then the next thing you know, kaboom, they come crashing down on you and you're like forced to go see Lawrence. Is that how it worked?
That's exactly how it worked.
Okay, so if contractors are listening right now and you have this scenario, you've gotten the letters from the IRS. What is it, a letter, certified? What do they do? The guy knocks on your door?
Yes, and yes. It starts off by the letters, and then it'll eventually evolve to, in Rick's case, he actually had that knock at the door. There was a local IRS revenue officer, and right here in Metro Detroit, there's several offices. There's one in Clinton Township, there's one in Farmington Hills, there's one in Detroit, and one in Pontiac and Flint, however far this reaches out here. And Rick had the letters over the years, and then eventually he came to us, and at the time he came to us, he had that knock at the door. And then we had to come on in and make sure we stopped my last name, the levy action that was being taken, so that his receivables, his monies weren't taken. And Rick's a down-to-earth, nice guy, as you can tell by his phone demeanor. And but his file literally dates back to 2001. I mean, I have it in my hand for anyone looking at it
Yeah,
live.
so let me
what
ask you
was
this.
the result of the?
So the result was, and Rick, I'll let you say it because I talked about it briefly before you came on the air, but do you remember the exact amount as to what you offered for your, I don't remember the number, but we'll call it somewhere between $900,000 and $1 million. Do you remember what it was, Rick?
The total amount that was due?
No. How
According
much
to
you?
them, or
No.
what we
How
offered
much?
them to
How much
pay
you
in the
offered them?
compromise?
Yeah, in the compromise.
$1,300 and some change.
Yep,
$1,300
exactly.
something dollars.
$1,340 was the dollar amount, and I'm looking at in my hand. I am holding your IRS acceptance, which says, "Dear Mr." We'll blank that out. We accepted your offer and compromise, signed and dated by you. Date of acceptance, the date of the offer. And so for your almost $1 million debt to get rid of it for $1,300, it's remarkable. But I really want to be clear so that the two folks I'm sitting with, Adam and his lovely co-host. There may be a brawl that's going to break out here any second. I can see her just rearing up.
I got a dinosaur.
Right,
Bring
he's
it.
got something. Bring it on. But it was remarkable, and Rick ended up just being so grateful and so appreciative. And I think, Rick, it gave you a new lease on life. Not only did you have just issues where you let it snowball in somewhat perpetuity, but you ended up wanting to just finally get your life back on track. And now you have constant communication with our office. We handle your ongoing accounting needs. So part of the model is you come to us when the house is on fire, and we put that fire out. And then after we figure out what the case resolution is going to be for the next God knows how many years, we just simply do your taxes on an ongoing basis.
Okay, so let me ask this. Let me make a statement. If you're a contractor and you're listening right now, you've got the IRS letter, you know someone that does, is it free to call you the first time?
Yeah, absolutely. Call and ask questions until you hire us. Until you hire us, it's not going to get done.
Okay, so levytaxhelp.com.
See that?
888-411-LEVY is the phone number. It's important. I mean, You're going to save, you're going to rescue. Now, not everybody's going to pay 10 cents on the dollar. However, that's not the goal of this. The goal is to get you to the point where you can pay your taxes on a regular basis, get you on the plan, but help you dig out of that hole, like you said earlier.
And I always say to people, if we've done our job right, the first phone call, the first meeting, how are you going to sleep tonight? And I want you to text me the next morning and let me know if you slept better. And Rick, from where you were 4 or 5 years ago to where you are now, how do you sleep now?
Oh, it's great now. There's nothing to worry about.
But at the end of the day, that's how you make your company successful. I mean,
yeah. Clearly,
you're either going to go under or you're going to go up.
Well,
So,
right, and you don't want to go under. We don't like any of that. We don't like anyone in this world to go under. We're obviously always advocating for the taxpayers. And now, for everyone listening too, back when Rick was a client, which was a couple of years ago, technically, at the time this was accepted, the state of Michigan they enacted a offer and compromise program, which kicked in January of last year. So it's been almost 2 years now. So anyone who's listening out there, whether it's a homeowner and you have tax problems or whether you're a contractor, Michigan now has an offer and compromise program that
state and federal. So now the state
and federal, and for years we've been lobbying, we've been trying to get the states to do it. They've never done it, but now it's an incredible tool where that's the other example. When we're done with Rick here, I want to move into the state of Michigan because it's another contractor that had problems. So Rick, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Adam
Thanks,
does.
Rick.
It's great. And as a contractor, now you can breathe again, and you keep current, you stay current. And for anyone listening out there, I think it's a compelling story.
So, Lawrence, let me ask you this. So, again, homeowner has a tax issue. Okay, they know they're going to get they're going to get money on their taxes back next year, but they know they have some back taxes. They should call you. What's the first, like when someone calls you, what's the first step? Like they say, hey, I think I have tax problems. What do you guys tell them?
Well, first, if they call and they say, I think I have tax problem, we say, well, what do you mean by that? And that happens quite a bit. Someone says, I really don't know.
I'm calling for a friend. Wink, wink.
Well, no, well, that happens too. But they'll say, I was going through a bad divorce, and my wife, let's act like you and I are married, right? And my wife, Julie, now my ex-wife.
You're cheating on me?
She was, yeah, apparently. So my wife, Julie, was handling the issues. And, I just didn't pay attention. I'm the guy, I'm out there, I'm a contractor, I got my tool belt, or I'm the homeowner, whatever it may be. And geez, I don't know when I filed. So what we'll do is we'll call the IRS, we'll find out what's going on, what years you owe for, what years you haven't filed for. So at least then we get an idea of the playing field. Or conversely, some people call and say, hey, here's my letter. I know what I owe, I'm sure, and I don't know if I owe the state of Michigan. So depending upon what the inbound call is and the first meeting is, you obviously, each case is unique. Is there a local IRS collections revenue officer? Is there someone local? Is it being handled by the automated system? Are you just in what they call notice phase and getting letters? It's all over the board.
So you'll dig the homeowner out of the mess. That's the key. They come to you. You then create what we'll call the roadmap. Here's step one, Mrs. Homeowner or Mr. Contractor. We need this, this, and this. And then if you don't have this, we're going to do it for you. File the last return that you missed.
Catch you up on missing returns, get you into compliance. Whatever the case resolution is going to be, each case is going to be different. Some may go into an installment agreement. We had a client that owed, literally this week, not a contract, but it happened to be a doctor. And his case resolution, as we're winding down the show here, but his case resolution, again, a doctor owed $1.7 million. I mean, huge dollars. And he didn't qualify for an offer and compromise for a number of reasons. And his case resolution is a $10,000 a month installment agreement, a payment plan, paying $10,000 a month.
Well, and I think it's important to say that this is just not going to go away. So you can't just keep ignoring these things.
Uncle Sam has eternity.
They're not just going to forget you.
That's always right. And not only is it not going to go away, but we don't want to give someone the false hope, the expectations. Each case does have a resolution. But it's not what we want. It's not even what you want as the actual client. It's all going to be based upon your financial condition, but there is a resolution out there that's going to help. And before we wind down, if it's all right with you, let's just shift to this other Michigan issue because it literally just came up.
Okay,
and
sure.
I mean,
Let's hear
literally
it.
yesterday, there was a local contractor here that had a successful offer and compromise that was accepted February 22nd of this year. I don't know the exact dollar amount because I literally was trying to print this early this morning, but I think he owed $250,000. And he was able to settle his IRS debt with an offer and compromise for around $2,200, if I'm not mistaken. We then filed a Michigan offer and compromise in March of this year. Sorry, let's be specific. He owed $753 was the offer and compromise amount, is what it was originally offered at on his $250,000, and I think they bumped it up to a couple thousand. So it was, again, a true pennies on the dollar. We now filed in March a Michigan offer and compromise. I think he owed $50,000 or $60,000, proportionately quite a bit less. And the state of Michigan came back and said, we need $485.53. This was literally yesterday, Friday.
Okay. So that's considered a success no matter what happens. That's like a huge success.
And that's the home run,
Right.
and it's out of the ballpark.
And then now here's the better part of this. It's the anxiety, it's the relief, it's the I'm going to sleep really good tonight.
Yep.
Because I went to Levy Tax Help.
Right, and I even on Wednesday night and on Thursday night, I was pulling into a local deli that you and I have frequented back in the 80s, and we still go to now. And I was on the phone with another contractor in the kitchen and bath industry, if you will. And he said, look, it's 7:30 at night. Boy, I can't believe how good I feel now.
Right.
He felt so good. He's been a client for about 4 weeks. And you just feel good because you're able to at least put this behind you.
Right.
And put your mind
Listen,
at ease.
you're solving
Well, you're not going to jail, so then there's that.
And you're not going to jail. Thank God,
Yeah,
right?
That's a good one.
Right?
So, Lawrence,
they
let me
put
ask you
away
this.
Debtor's prison a long time ago.
Obviously, your expertise is there. You understand the system. You understand the laws. You have CPAs, attorneys all on staff. You
And
have
former IRS revenue
former
officers.
IRS officers.
We have a deep bench.
So you have the big team and ready to take care of business.
We have the best team.
I like that.
I love it.
Can you tell us where to get a hold of you at?
Yeah, absolutely. Locally, 248-557-4048. And we have a new 800 number, which we're going to shout out, promote today because it just came live, 800-TAX-LEVY. But the one that you guys have is 888-411-LEVY. But the new one is 800-TAX-LEVY. They're both live.
And what's your website?
www.levytaxhelp.com. That's levytaxhelp.com. Check us out. But I also want to say how great it is to be able to get on the air and actually hear this. And not only have Adam and I known each other for 30 plus years, maybe
no,
longer.
we were 5, 6, 7 years old.
Yeah, so that's
42 years.
40-some years?
42.
Getting old, man.
Oy.
I'm getting some gray.
All right, listen,
and
Levy
Julie's been
Tax
a half
Help.
hour I've known her for.
Right? Better than that. So, okay, so I know in the back of everyone's mind, you have a fee.
We do.
And is it based on the client?
No, it's based upon the complexity. It's a flat fee. We don't bill anything hourly, like my lovely wife, who's an attorney. She bills hourly. I don't.
It's a flat fee.
It's a flat fee base. You know what it's going to cost you.
You pay for the fee but your fee's covered by the savings.
Well, our fee is covered by the peace of mind.
Right.
Put it that
That's
way.
priceless as it is.
As it is priceless.
Well, LevyTaxHelp.com. Lawrence Levy, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Hey,
Always great to have you here.
Love to have the costume set up.
Yeah, right?
Love
we
it.
totally
Yeah.
want to do that.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, that's it. A little shout out there. All right, we're going to take a break, folks. That was a good segment.
That was
Thank
a lot
you.
of information.
Yeah.
That's good.
We're going to take a quick break. We've got my assistant, Julie Bertuzzi, Lawrence Levy. We got
I'm not anybody's assistant.
some good contractor coming up next. I'm Adam Helfman on 97.1 The Ticket.